Bienvenidos, welcome. My name is Erica González. I'm the executive editor of El Diario La Prensa, El Campeón de los Hispanos, and I will do my best to make a brief and pointed intro for in lieu of Rosanna not being able to make it. As you know, we're celebrating our 100th anniversary year, and of course, if any of you have visited our centennial website, eldiariony.com/100, where you're going to see unfolding throughout the decades is really the story largely of the Puerto Rican community, where we've battled, where we've conquered, where we've struggled, where we've led the way for so many Latinos throughout New York City and led the transformation of this city and nation, and that includes, of course, in the realm of the area of media. I first want to say that Center for Puerto Rican Studies has a very special place in my heart because it was my first internship and job out of college, and it was there that I learned about the brilliance of Puerto Rican writers, journalists, academics, and how they were analyzing our community and bringing such the breadth and depth that our community deserved to different fronts, policy and community. And so we're happy to do this event with the Center for Puerto Rican Studies, and with that, and also as coming up as a journalist, somebody who wanted to become a journalist and write about our community and help play a role in empowering our community. It was so important for me to see, women like Ana Carbonell and others, journalists in the Daily News and other media and El Diario, just fearlessly campaigning to give us presence in different media. So I thank you so much for being that visible and having that impact and influencing us and being strong role models. With that, I will turn it over to Edwin.
Muchas gracias, Erika, y muchas gracias a todos ustedes por estar aquí con nosotros esta mañana. It's a real pleasure for us at Centro to be sharing this occasion with El Diario. There are 100, that's pretty much old. We're 40, so we're just starting, as they say. But we have been planning this event for a year. This is like the third time we scheduled it, and we have to go back. So we're going to get it done before the end of the year. So in celebration of their 100th and our 40th, I welcome you all to the event, and I thank you for being here. Let me say two words about Centro. As you probably know, I see around, you all know Centro. But we were created to be a think tank for the Puerto Rican community, to create research, to promote ideas, to support policies that benefit the Puerto Rican community. We were also, over time, we were from the start, we were a depository of books and so forth. We created a library and we developed curriculum. But over time, we decided to become archives and to collect and disseminate the story of Puerto Ricans and their contributions, and to be the depository of that wealth of knowledge and heritage that our archive represents today. I have to say, though, that the event tonight or today is very special because without the donors to those archives, we couldn't have what we have. And so far, we are doing pretty good, thank you. We, before we started the 100 campaigns, we have about 264 original collections. Those included, a lot of pioneers like Puerto, Richie Perez, and I can go on with the list, Clemente Sotoverde from Bonilla, and so on and so forth. Very important group of people that really created the foundation for our community to grow and prosper. And after we started at 100, we're counting over 150 so far, and by the end of the year, we got to close this. We're going to have about 200. We celebrated several affinity events throughout the country. We've been in Philadelphia, in Washington, and so forth. Here in New York, we did the military and cultural organizations. We still have one on women, which is coming up in November 23rd.
Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday? Oh, gee, okay, that's how. Okay. I haven't looked at my schedule, but anyway, it's coming up. And we still have other pending in Florida. We have two, one in Orlando, one in Miami. We have one in Boston, probably in the spring because it's getting crowded. But in any case, that effort has been to strengthen our archives, to make Centro really, truly representative of the nation and all the communities that we have. And as you know, we're growing fast everywhere. Throughout the country. In a decade, we have grown more than 1.5 million people in the States. Okay, so that has a lot of implications for our heritage and how we understand our culture and our history, and more importantly, it brings a lot of challenges in how we think about the Puerto Rican community. So for all those reasons, I think these donors make a special contribution to that heritage and to that preservation of our history. It's very important to have their stories be part of our archives. It's very important to have their papers so that younger generations can come and look at what they have inherited, why they're here, how did they get here, and what they can do to benefit the Puerto Rican community. So collecting those documents is just the first step. Then start the hard work. Okay, first we need to process those collections, and we have some of our staff. Cynthia is in charge of the oral histories. All of them have to tell their story. It may take 2 hours, 4 hours. We have interviews that last 24, 25 hours. Some of them have a lot to say, and we don't want to miss 1 minute of them. And then we need to document that and collect that. But that's not enough. After we do all that, we need to create educational products, books, memoirs, internet-based digital products that our younger generation can have access to and can learn from. So in addition to that, we need to have events that promote those materials and that knowledge that we have. So for example, as part of the 40th anniversary, we did 2 exhibits. One of them is still running. The other one is now the Clemente Soto Vélez, became what we call a traveling exhibit. So the New York Rican story is still there until the end of December, I believe. And the posters on the wall is now Clemente Soto Vélez. And to replace this in our walls, those of you who were there for the 40th, we have a new one, which is a recently processed collection for Carlos Ortiz about the South Bronx. The South Bronx that he knew, that he loved, that he promoted. And we have a lot of collections from the South Bronx. This is just one of them. We have Bobby Garcia, and we're collecting more. And there are more stories, So in any case, I think this is a very important endeavor, a very important event. Unfortunately, we're missing a few of the awardees, but it's every time we try to reschedule, it was pretty much the same thing. It's a pretty busy people. So I have to say that I'm happy we were able to collect at least a few of them and have them in the same room in one occasion. I'm very happy about that. But before we get into the ceremonial part of this, I'd really like to thank Erica and Rosanna and Javier, who have been so instrumental in putting this together. And round of applause for them. And the others have been a wonderful partner throughout. They cover our events. They promote the reports that we put out, and it's been a great partnership over the few past decades and more to come. Hopefully, the leadership transition will strengthen I'm still crying, but anyway, having said that, I hope that the transition strengthen the newspaper and strengthen our relationship, and we can move forward. I have to say, today we're honoring, we have actually José Rodríguez is part of our advisory board, and so, thank you so much for accepting to do this. It was a little bit hard to convince him because it's a lot of work. And I have nothing to do with your work. But like many people, he's stepping up. We appreciate that. We also have from our advisory board, Eva Cabrera, who has been with us for a while, and he's also. He was a donor to the archives and became one of the 100 and has contributed a lot to our cultural activities. And the other 2 awardees that we have here today have also contributed tremendously to Centro. Anna has been working with us on a special documentary about the origins of the Puerto Rican community in the United States. She's doing the voiceover and guiding and advising us about this media stuff that we can't understand, we can get a handle of, but she knows all this well, and she's helping us. And of course, Héctor Ramos has been already doing his oral history, has been around and correcting some facts that we didn't have straight, so he's helping us with that. We also, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. You don't know how much work it's going to be. I don't want to scare you, but it's all going to be for good and fun. So, in addition to that, we have some other folks that have donated their papers and couldn't be here for one reason or the other. And we decided, okay, we're going to mention that. We're going to honor that. They have signed their papers, and we're going to move forward to the real hard work, which is collecting those documents, doing their oral histories, organizing them, and making them available to the general public so that our youth can learn from that, can strengthen what we know about the Puerto Rican, can put all things together, can link it, can write papers, can write theses, can write dissertations, and for all the old people to read them and give them feedback and have the scholarship about Puerto Ricans and Puerto Rican heritage and Puerto Rican social conditions move forward and sharing that experience with everybody else. So anyway, it's my pleasure to welcome you, and I will leave two of our superstar staff, Roseni Plaza and Mayra Torres, to
Carry on.
to do actually the hard work, which I'm not supposed to do. Thank you.
I just wanted to acknowledge a few folks who are in the room. Brenda Torres from the Puerto Rico Federal Affairs Administration. Albert Garcia from the Office of the Governor. Donna Karen with NYC and Company. And a man who needs no introduction, Joe Wiskowitz.
For about his
I thought you was the designer, Dana Karen. I'll take my hug back.
As we read a little bit of your bio, please come up so that we can pin you. Okay?
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It's like the Pira Taíno celebration.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
No blindfolds?
No blindfolds, you remember?
Okay, so Ana Carbonell, known as one of the most dynamic public relations professionals in the entertainment business. Ana Carbonell served as Vice President, Press and Public Affairs for both WNBC and WNJU Telemundo 47 from 1995 into her departure in 2010. During her tenure there, she served as host and executive producer of Visiones, the station's Hispanic Affairs program, as executive producer for Positively Black, and as a member of the NBCU Diversity Council, where she advised corporate management.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for your donation. Gracias.
Just say a few words, gracias.
Yeah, I just, yesterday I was talking to somebody about the fact that I get these awards and I never feel worthy of the awards. And then I got this litany of all the things that I had done from this one friend, and it broke my heart because, I want to really believe that I've had some type of impact. But I do rejoice when people come up to me and say, Ana Carbonell, oh, because of you, my kid did this, and my son did that, and I did this, and I did that, and I had always wanted to be a teacher. I lamented never having become a teacher. But I guess with the 15 years at NBC, at ABC, and 15 years at NBC that I had on air, I must have taught a few people, so thank you very much.
Our next recipient is Héctor Ramos Rosado. Héctor Ramos is the editor-in-chief of Galos Corporation. He has a long and distinguished career as a newscaster and journalist in New York City and in his native Puerto Rico. He served as news director for Guapa Radio and WIPM Channel 3 in Puerto Rico.
Yo no sé si estoy en los 100 Puerto Rican por mis años en la radio, 75 años, 35 años en periodismo escrito, si porque tengo 22 nietos, 19 bisnietos y 8 tataranietos. Todavía él no me ha dicho el por qué estoy en 100 Puerto Rican. Estoy confuso sobre eso. Muchas gracias.
por todo eso.
Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Y el 30 de este mes, 95 años de edad.
So when I said Moses, I was not too far off. Pharaoh.
Felicidades.
Gracias.
Our next awardee is José Luis
El
Rodríguez.
Puma.
José Luis Rodríguez is founder and chief executive officer of the Hispanic Information and Telecommunications Network, HITN, which was established in 1983 as a private, nonprofit organization with the purpose of advancing the educational, culture, and socioeconomic aspirations of Hispanics. We want you to wear your pin so proud.
Yes, yes. Muchas gracias. By the way, I have nothing to do with my selection, but sure. I have to do with the others. Clarification. Again, it's an honor for me to receive this award, and I usually don't like this type of things, but I will take this opportunity to share with you that I feel, first of all, very proud to be among the other individuals here, which I know and I respect, and I follow their careers, Mr. Ramos from, I guess, desde que estaba en el vientre de mi mamá.
Ay, is that a compliment?
Ahora soy partero también.
Qué escándalo. You're not gonna print that.
And the other individuals, Ana, and the other individuals that are here, David González and David Díaz, which also collaborate with HITN. I'm very proud to be in this company. I just wanted to say one thing, and that is that I'm very concerned about the plight of the Puerto Rican community, especially the latest migration that is taking place, and what is creating within our communities, not only in Puerto Rico, but here in this country. And that's an issue that is not being talked about enough. I know El Centro has been for many years, and I know Edwin is very concerned and interested in that. There are 5 million Puerto Ricans in the United States now, and if you exclude the foreigners in Puerto Rico, 3.2 million Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico, if that much. And so very soon we're going to have twice as many Puerto Ricans here in the United States. And there are young people, it's a different migration. And I was this weekend with a group of elected officials from, a lot of them Puerto Ricans from all over the United States in Orlando. And they were sharing with me that in their respective communities that everybody thinks people are moving to Orlando. No, they're moving to all over the country. Mm-hmm. And they were telling me that they have become, now the group that they come to get more services from. So this is very significant, and it's a professional group, but it's still a group with needs and confronting a lot of racism, okay, in many places, from Virginia to New Jersey, Connecticut, you name it. So my organization have decided to use our medium and start going to be developing content to deal not with the 3.2 million Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico or the 5 million Puerto Ricans in the United States, but deal with 8.5 million Puerto Ricans. Because in my view, there are 8.5 million Puerto Ricans in this earth. And that's what we want to focus. Mm-hmm. And we want to develop content that provide the opportunity not only to look at Puerto Rico, okay, that will be of interest of Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico, but it will be of interest to Puerto Ricans wherever they are. And we will be soon announcing some of those content, and I hope that some of you, in fact all of you, because I see all the people here that have something to contribute, can help us in that conversation. We need to understand what's going on. We need to unite our community, and we need to make sure that we address with this crisis. Okay, the financial crisis is one, but this is a crisis that have long-term repercussions in our community, that we can address it in an effective way collectively. So I just wanted to let you know, we're gonna start with what they call the Puerto Rican Triangle, what I call Puerto Rico, Florida, and the Northeast, which is close to 7 million Puerto Ricans in this area. And I hope we can continue with other mediums like El Diario, because I think everybody here can play a role in addressing this issue. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention that we have 3 others that agreed to donate their documents to our archives, but they couldn't be with us today either because of illness or other engagements. David Díaz, David González, and Pablo Guzman.
They all say hello.
Yeah, okay, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah, we party.
Oh, thanks.